again. This is Tyler with Legendary Vegan Art. Today we're starting part 2 of painting a portrait of Jared from Hot Pepper Gaming. And like I said in the last video, today I'm going to be working on the shirt and the creases and the folds. So I want to make a quick note about color accuracy. As I've been editing these videos, I've noticed some discrepancies in how things appear in different settings. So the picture that I'm working from is going to look different when I'm looking at it here under the light on my desk. It's going to look different when I scan it. And it's going to look a little different in the video on a computer screen. Similarly, my reference picture on my tablet here is going to look a little different to me in person, a little different to you guys on the video from the video when I had it under the camera, and it's going to look a little different when I have that picture overlaid. So sometimes things look a little jarring, but I'm always trying to work as accurately as I can. I mean, I definitely make mistakes, but if you see anything look kind of weird, that weird sort of effect that several different settings can have on an apparent color is definitely coming into play. So I'm going to probably try and get this shirt done in one sitting, because I don't want to make it super detailed. I want it to leave it fairly abstract and fairly simple, because I don't want to take too much detail here to pull attention away from the face, because the focus of a portrait should always be the person's face. So this color did come out a little too dark compared to the lights that I was going for. So I'm going to darken a couple areas for the creases in the shirt, and I'm going to use just water on a brush to try and lift some areas up and lighten the color that way. So with watercolors, just by wetting an area, going over it with a brush, and if you need to, grabbing a paper towel and just sort of gently rubbing away a color, you can absolutely pull up some of the pigment that's been laid down. And you've definitely seen me do that in some older videos. So what I'm actually going to do is grab a dark color. I use this well here for my blacks. I mix between either a Prussian blue or an indanthrone blue and a burnt umber, which is what I have here. I mix up a nice black. I'm going to mark in some of the darker creases, because I've sort of lost my earlier pencil lines. I don't mind that too much, because I can just eyeball this and keep it simple. So we want the basic crease to look more or less like that. I think I spread that line out a little too much. That's basically what it's going to look like. Let me thin this out a little. And start lifting some more. Where else do we have these creases? So one coming up from here up to the armpit, so let me mark where it's going to go. This is a good way to sort of mark your progress, make sure you stay on the right track. Put that up right through here. Grab a little more fresh water. I'll let this black color some more. I'd consider buying a tubed black. Even though I normally mix all my blacks in other media, in oil paints or acrylics, it might not be a bad idea to have a nice tubed black on hand. Let's see. Let's mark the color here and there. And this part isn't going to be photorealistic. I'm just making marks of where things should go. We can refine it a little bit later. I'm going to say that a lot. You can always refine what you do a little later. Let's see what else. We've got a nice little crease here, giving rise to a smaller one up there. Looks pretty good. This goes up a little higher. And we have, where'd my smudge card go? Here we go. This is a thing I keep on my hand. It's actually good not to wear it sometimes, because then you are a little more aware of when you're accidentally putting your hand in a wet area, but my hand feels kind of naked without it. I'm just so used to wearing it. I was actually going to use some of my pre-made black wash from earlier, but it's settling strangely in the cup that I mixed it in. The phthalo green is sort of sinking to the bottom, and the permanent alizarin is sitting on top, and the mix isn't reconstituting well to the black color that I'd need. That's what I get for experimenting in my videos. I don't mind. Get this shadow there. It already really defines that a lot better. Get the sort of stitching here by making an incomplete line. It's pretty dark on top, so I'm just going to go ahead and add a bit of shadow up here. I tend to work fairly lightly in watercolors, and I'm actually trying to make myself work darker and be a little bolder with my decision making and laying colors down. Because I don't want to spend too long just layering and layering and layering colors to get what I need. But one of the benefits of watercolor is it dries a little lighter than you think, so even when I think I am being bold enough or too bold, it usually lightens to a very workable level. So, for better or for worse, I still end up working a little too lightly. Even though I'm keeping that in mind at all times. Okay. A little darker. Like I said, I'm going to need to keep going darker here. A little darker, harder line right where that meets. And get this darker too. Now I said I'd do a lot of lifting. I thought these dark areas would go fast. They're taking longer than I thought, but no problem. I'm probably not even going to worry too much about it. I don't know why I'm pointing at my tablet. You guys can't see it. Don't know. I'm probably not going to worry about the shirt pockets too much. Get that a little wetter. It's probably too wet. Yep. Now you can't see anything. It's a constant back and forth with this medium, with watercolor. There we go. People don't think about this as often as drawing accuracy or color accuracy or values, which means light and dark, but edge control is a very important aspect of drawing. It doesn't always get mentioned as much as it should. It just means knowing when to apply a hard edge and a soft edge. Knowing how to work them to look the way that they need to. Actually, I need to make this whole underarm area a lot darker, so let's just blast in more of this dark mix. Much better. Need not to be too timid here. I'm giving myself license to work boldly on this shirt area because it's not the most crucial part. So you have to give yourself excuses to take chances and play around, do things a little differently. Helps you grow. And ever since the Splatoon demo, the global test fire that happened a couple days ago, I've had that Splatoon theme song running through my head non-stop. And that game's good. If you want to hear more of my gaming opinions, you should probably check out my gaming channel. I should probably keep those limited to that, but in case you're not aware, I've got a gaming channel. You guys should check it out if you get the chance. I'd appreciate it. Alright, I'm going to lighten a few things. Some things I do want to be aware of are the fact that the collar doesn't look quite like a collar yet. It just looks like I've outlined some not really meaningful shapes. So I think I might just go in with the corner of a wetted paper towel and just lift like that. I don't know if that's a great idea, but gotta try it. Avoid these dark areas I've taken the trouble of putting down just now. This isn't working quite well, maybe it is. Sorry I knocked the table just then. I'm in need of a new drafting table. This one wobbles pretty badly. I have a bit of a jury-rigged solution to get it more stable, but it's not going to last forever. I got this one pretty cheaply at a local craft store, and you get what you pay for. It was on sale, didn't cost me too much, and it's served me well enough, but it's had its day. If any of you guys or ladies, very sorry, if any of you lovely viewers have suggestions for a good crafting table, I'm all ears. I think I got this one at Michael's. That's all I have near me is a Michael's and an AC Moore, and they'll do for some minor art needs, but I really wish I had a dedicated fine art store near here, like a Dick Blick or a Jerry's Artorama or something. With such a strong local arts and crafts scene, I'm constantly surprised there's not a more serious paint store here, but there isn't. I'm constantly ordering from Dick Blick online, or running down to the one in Atlanta to see my friends there also. Well, there's my problem. I just realized I didn't put in the dark crease here to define this collar. There's not a really dark line delineating that collar in the picture, but for the purposes of my painting I may add one. I'm going to switch to this finer brush here. Get in some of those lines. And call it a day on this video. So to define this, I want to have this light area cut into this shadow area, and that'll really help set it in space a lot better. This is quite dark, so I'm going to darken that. Darken that, and mark that. Well, I've still got some paint on my brush, might as well put it somewhere. Make that a bit darker. Let's see. So, like I said, cutting into this shadow area, I'm going to take just my clean brush, use the point to lift up this dark color I put down earlier, and have this dark area come down here under the color like it looks in the picture. It's pretty light. And after this, I think it's about break time, because if you work on something too long, you get tunnel vision. I'm just taking a simple break, coming back with fresh eyes. Is one of the most valuable things you can learn to do. Just make yourself do. Just gotta avoid the urge to just keep going and going, even though it's fun. Let's lighten this dark color so we can put in something here. Yeah, this whole area is pretty shadowy. I think I'm going to have to restate some of these dark lines. I hate to waffle on this, I don't want to go back and forth too long. But I think I can just put this dark line there. Okay, what else needs to be done? This goes up a little higher. Make sure these creases look like something. Yeah, I think I'm okay. Oh, there's a button right here, isn't there? I might just mark that in a little more simply. I might fill this in with a more opaque brown color, or I might just leave it for now. There's another button under here, but I think I'm fine letting that get lost into the shadow of the collar. Okay, I'm working this too much. I should just leave it be. let it dry, come back to it with fresh eyes, and work on the face again next video. I'm going to define some of the... I'm not sure what I'm going to do. I think I'm going to define some of the darker areas. Whoopsie. Like the... oh, that was already there, wasn't it? I think I'm going to define... Sorry, I keep getting off track. I'm going to define some of the darker areas in the face, like maybe the mouth and the eyes, or maybe the eyebrows. Actually, probably not the eyebrows. That helps anchor the painting a little more. I may go back on that and do more flesh tones, but I think it would be a good idea to at least put in some of the shadows under the jawline or something. Anyway, I'm sorry, I've not worked out what I'm going to do next, but I hope you join me next time. It's been a lot of fun painting this. I really want to get this done in a reasonable time frame. That's another reason I'm doing these videos. I tend to waffle too long on these videos, putting on light coat after light coat. So I'm going to be bold, I'm going to get this done, and I hope you join me, and hail Dagon.